Okay, so here we are with the full review of the all-new Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite here. I've been using it since the unboxing video a little bit over a week ago, and I've gotten the opportunity to test it out even more when I went to Texas last week for like 4 or 5 days. So let's go ahead and see what I found out. So I'm going to start off the same way. As of the shooting of this video, the Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 FE still has not hit the US. So I'm getting a little frustrated, but what can I do? I'm just gonna have to wait. Anyway, let's get back to this guy here. Quick recap. So just like I mentioned last time, and if you go on the website, this guy's gonna cost you about 160 bucks for the base Wi-Fi variant, which is what I have here. And you also have this tablet available in an unlocked or international version that you can order from Amazon, and it will run you roughly 230 bucks for the base 4G LTE variant. So for people looking to use this as a phone, you could go ahead and just grab the LTE variant. The Tab A7 Lite, as we know it, is just a variation of the regular Galaxy Tab A7 that came out last year. You may be familiar with that. And before you ask, yes, there is a market for this tablet here. Now let's start off with the design here. You may have noticed the form factor, right? That's the most obvious thing about it. It is indeed a small tablet standing at only 8.7 inches with a smooth finish on the back here, and that same unibody frame and look we get with new Samsung tablets. It actually feels pretty dense, and it makes it have that very premium build to it, so it feels really good in the hands. On the back here, you have an 8 megapixel camera. That's the same one you find on the Galaxy Tab A7. The camera on the front here is a 2 megapixel one. The display is TFT, just like the Galaxy Tab A7, but this one has thinner bezels, and the screen to body ratio stands at 81.1%. And here's a fun fact. This is not a full HD display. The resolution here is actually 800 by 1340. And with this form factor, or with this size, picture quality is not too terrible, and it's pretty bright also. Overall, it's not a particularly bad looking tablet. I personally don't hate it. You know, I think it's a pretty nice look to it. Plus it comes with a bunch of features. You know, you have things like face unlock, a nice dual speaker setup, a micro SD card slot, a USB Type-C port, and also a headphone jack. And these are pretty nice features to have on a tablet. So far, so good. Now let's go ahead and cover specs and how those translate into real life here. The unit that I have here is a 32 gigs of internal storage. So the base storage is 32 gigs. It comes with 3 gigs of RAM. If you were to go for the 64 gigs, that would afford you 4 gigs of RAM. It is running a MediaTek Helio P22T. So as you can see, it is not set to be a productivity machine, right? And in my case, I can tell you that I could see that reflected on the performance already. By the way, if this is your first time visiting, well, welcome to the channel. Of course, if you do like the content so far, I truly appreciate that. Now, please do me a huge favor. Hit both the like and the subscribe button there if you haven't done so already. Again, that's a major push to the channel, and that's the best way for me to show YouTube that, the YouTube algo rather, that people actually do like this type of video. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this guy here. If you did watch my hands-on video on this tablet, you may have seen that it was lagging a little during the setup. It's gotten slightly better for sure, but I still get a little bit more lag than I would like when trying to navigate or move too fast. It's also been my experience that some of the native apps are working a little bit more smoothly, if I can say it that way, compared to third-party apps. They seem to be fairly optimized on here, but as I mentioned, again, when trying to do more than a few things and too fast at the same time, it's going to offer you kind of a sluggish performance. You know, again, when you're navigating the internet, doing things, and just kind of jumping from one thing to the other, you are definitely going to notice that lag, and it's consistent. So it's not something where I can say when I was doing this, it's, if you're doing a little bit too much, it's gonna. And before I actually keep going, I gotta make something clear. You know, I know in the comment section, a lot of people are gonna go, why would you buy this tablet? You know, when you could just go with the regular Tab A7, which has slightly better performance. Now, you have to keep in mind that it's not necessarily, people who buy this are not necessarily going for performance. You know, it's that form factor, right? So you have to keep that in mind. It's not that people are just trying to buy the best tablet and found himself buying this guy. Just like the different other levels of tablets that Samsung builds, this one is very specific to a segment of the market. It's the same reason Apple has like the iPad mini, and I'm not saying that this is comparable to the Apple mini, but you get what I'm saying. You know, this is not for people who are trying to develop full-blown projects. This is more for people who may want to get a tablet, you know, or something that's going to give them kind of that tablet experience, but that they can still use as a phone. You know, if for people who want to go buy this, the unlocked version of this tablet here. So just keep that in mind. I certainly would have loved it if performance was better than what it offers right now, but it is what it is. If you're looking for a top performance tablet, then this is definitely not targeted at you. It will handle light to some medium games without any issues, but heavy games, obviously, that would be a different story. Battery life is pretty decent. I'm consistently getting 6 hours out of that I believe it's 5100 milliamp hour, but that's going to depend on your type of usage, right? So depending on what you use it for, how often you use your tablet, it may last a day or it may not even see half a day. You have to keep that in mind. It is fast charge capable up to 15 watt, I believe, but the charger that comes with it is just half of that. I believe it's 7.5 watt. So you would have to buy a fast charger if you want to take advantage of the fast charge support that it has. The speakers are actually pretty decent also, not because they're particularly loud, but because during entertainment you have them, you know, firing from each side of the tablet. So when you're holding it this way, you get to really enjoy the sound coming out of, you know, a movie, a video, whatever you're watching on your tablet. And here's one thing I want to make sure that I don't forget to bring up. A few people asked me in the comment section if I could check this and see if it works. The micro SD card, the issue we were having with the Galaxy Tab A7 where you could move your apps to, you know, from the internal storage to your micro SD card, that issue unfortunately is apparent here also. I tested it out. You cannot move your apps from your internal storage to your micro SD card. And what it tells me is that Samsung is pretty much pushing you to go for the next tier, right? The one with more room, more storage space. So to those people and just anyone watching this video, you cannot move your apps from your internal storage to the micro SD card that you would have in here. Now, if you can, please let us know in the comment section unless I'm doing it wrong. I actually tested it out and I took the Tab S6 Lite that I have here somewhere and I tried that on there. I was thinking, well, I wonder if it's just because it's been updated to the newest. No, it works perfectly fine on the Tab S6 Lite and on the Tab S7 and the S7 Plus. All of those, you could definitely move your stuff to the SD card, but you just cannot do that on the cheaper ones here. Now, going back to the camera there, it's not great, right? The tablet itself is $160, so for something in that price range, don't expect it to be amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely better than some of the stuff that I've seen on like the Amazon Fire HD10, I believe that was. It could definitely beat those, but it's still not great. You can have, you know, video calls and the people will be able to see you, but if the room is not well lit, yeah, it's gonna get a ton of noise. Stabilization is just not that great. And I'm talking about the front. Now the back here, the one on the back, it's okay, I guess. Anyway, so here's my take. Overall, for the targeted segment of the population, I think this tablet is fine, especially at $160. Again, this is not for just everyone, meaning those people looking for something very affordable with a small form factor, something really easy to carry for very light day-to-day tasks and maybe some YouTube on the go. This would be it. This is the tablet to pick up. For people who want to remain in a stable ecosystem like the one that Samsung has built and is continuing to improve, this would be the one to pick up. So for people who want to get a tablet that they can use, again, as I mentioned earlier, as a tablet and also as a phone, you know, you can stick your SIM card in it and be able to use it as a phone without looking too ridiculous, this would be the one to get also. Plus, you can use this as a good gift for kids, right? So it's a small tablet. It will really work well with kids also. With all of this being said, if you're looking for a regular tablet, this is not it. You know, you shouldn't even be comparing this to a regular tablet, right? So if you're looking for anything other than that form factor and the other stuff, the other aspects that I've highlighted of this tablet, then you should completely ignore this tablet because performance alone would just really keep you away. So just go ahead and grab a regular tablet if performance is one of the, let's say, top 3 things that you're looking for on a tablet, because this guy's not going to offer you top performance. It's going to work, but it's not going to offer you top performance. Anyway, I hope you found this informative and that it helps your purchasing decision. Don't forget to comment. I always catch people in the comment section. Don't forget to share if you know anyone who would be interested in this. Watch the previous video that I made on this if you're interested, or the other videos I made on all of the other tablets that I've covered. I'm going to catch you in the comment section. I'm going to catch you also in the next video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and like the video. Wow, I'm going all over the place here. I'm going to catch you in the next video, and up until then, stay safe out there.